We are up and running. Hello, 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 hello. All right, looks like everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing. People are starting to trickle in. Excellent. We have Leo Lado, it looks like. User 9103. Pranga. Or Pranga, not sure. Does Dump get any credit for the peace in Palestine? That's insane. That is an insane question. That is an absolutely insane question. Holy crap. I did not think MAGA hats would come in so ridiculous right off the bat. Does Daddy Dump get any credit after he supported every horrible thing that was going on there? Doesn't he get any credit now? Holy shit, Professor X, hello. Welcome back. My voice is a little off yet. He just freed Palestine. Sure he did. Oh my God, these people have the minds of 5-year-olds. That's amazing. Oh, Christopher, the left are so hateful. Oh, I know, not like those peaceful people on J6, not like the 20 the what is it? 100% of right-wing assailants in the last 20 years whenever there's political violence. That's wild. My name is Charles says you hate that you don't know. Oh, you guys are so cute. Oh, you're trying to psychoanalyze me. That's funny. You don't really have the brain power for that, but good luck to you. You hate that you don't know. Oh, thanks for the laugh though. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm funny and you're pathetic. Oh, Jonathan, please name one city that was burned down. Please. I don't recall any city being burned down, but please, I want you to tell me. Make the lists because you said, let's see, their own cities. So there's multiple. Please name the list of all the cities burned down. Please. Oh, Minneapolis was burned down, so it doesn't exist anymore. It was just burned down to the ground, had to be rebuilt, right? Oh my God, you people don't know how words work. You don't know how words work. Burned down. Yeah, no, nobody burned down Minneapolis. Uh, you know, I mean, my God, I knew you people were childish, but I didn't know that you were this childish. Yeah, good question, Professor. They don't have answers to that. They can't tell you because literally you're saying cities burned down. That did not happen anywhere. There might have been a couple of fires in a couple of cities, which we later found out from surveillance footage was Boogaloo Boys, which is the right. Oh, but still, your claim that cities burned down is dumb. The left are rioters and looters, right? Not like the violent mob at J6, very calm and peaceful that day, right? No, Bo, I'm not arguing semantics. I'm arguing logic and facts. You might be too short pants to use a word like semantics without knowing what it means. Yeah, see, someone says ha J6. Like, see how they're trying to dismiss it? Like it was nothing? 140 police officers were brutalized that day, and you think that's funny, huh? You think that's funny. Oh, one. No, it sounds like you're coping, trying to pretend that J6 was nothing. You won't believe your eyes because Daddy Dump told you to believe something else because you're a good little boy, aren't you? And you listen to Daddy Dump. Whenever Daddy Dump tells you to think something, you go, "Yes, Daddy." Yes, 200 plainclothes FBI agents doing their job as FBI agents. Another myth debunked 500 times, but you people are hilarious, man. You people are hilarious. You're so deep up Donnie Dump's ass. You're such simps, such childish simps that you will believe anything he says. It is amazing. There we go. There's another one who thinks that's a flex. Dump lives rent free in your mind. Dump is still your president. No, what you're doing is projecting. Dump lives in your mind and he's your president. Dump is a president. He's the president. He's not my president because I don't have an emotional attachment to him or any other president, because I'm not a simp. I'm not a sycophant. I'm not a cult member. I can have a president in America without getting emotionally attached to them. Pure Blood says, "Get a booster. Derp, 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 get a booster. I don't know what that means, but I think it's a burn." Uh, Q1, poor thing. Oh, oh, such a sad little boy, aren't you? Trying to pretend that you're sympathetic. Poor thing. Bless your heart. Derp, derp, derp. Oh, God. V says, "Can you talk about the all the federal workers who just got fired for being associated with the Dem Party?" I mean, you that's the whole story, right? I mean, now you're being persecuted for your political affiliation, which is what happened in 1954 during the McCarthy hearings. I mean, it was actually like a 4 or 5 year period when all of that was going on. But yeah, during the hearings, it all came out that you could be persecuted for your political uh, beliefs and all that, and even like, oh, if you ever met someone from a different party that they didn't like, that guy says this just reels of desperation. So you don't recognize human emotions, then good for you, that guy. Decade 7 asks, "My name is Charles. How are how are his legs? Has the swelling gone down?" Yeah, he should know because he's down on his knees in front of him all the time. Oh boy, Genghis Khan. Oh yeah, you're telling me to stop the rhetoric, and you named yourself Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan, whichever way you pronounce it. That's hilarious. Who started the entire political attacks on people? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Who's president right now and declared that the Democrats are the enemy of the state, the enemy from within? Who did that? Did any other president ever do that? I don't think so. And if any other president even came close, it was probably during the civil conflict. Q1 says hypocrisy is so real. Oh, there you are using words that you don't know. So Professor X, hang tight because I'm gonna do something before we get started, but then I'll bring you up. There are 128 people here, and somehow only 204 likes. I have never seen that happen before. That's wild. So please, folks, start tapping the screen. Normally, we go about like you know 25 to 50,000 likes per hour, so that would be great. So anyway, let's start Saturday morning off with some 90s R&B. Jan 6 should be a national holiday. Oh, what a weirdo. Oh boy. All right, let's see. I know Professor X was trying to get in before. Let me see. I think he's still there. All right. All right, here we go. Da-da-da-da.
Yo,
Oh wow! Suddenly, there we go. Oh, hi, Professor X. How you doing?
rise and shine, G, rise and shine, man. I just want to slide through and show you some support, man.
Thank you, man. I
You up dealing
appreciate
with
that.
these, you up dealing with these goofies early in the morning, man.
Yeah, they're so enraged. They
Again, man, I don't know if you saw the comment when I said, man, that's an insult to 5 year old. Let's see,
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
even
yeah,
argue with
yeah,
your logic, man, because I'm reading the comments and they behaving like a bunch of children in the
yeah,
comments.
yeah. I
He
mean,
reads in the
at
third
least
grade, bro,
5-year-olds are acting that way because they're supposed to be acting that way.
because they're five.
Right, because they're five, they're not emotionally sophisticated and they don't have a strong vocabulary yet. So they act out emotionally and they get frustrated easily. And whenever you make fun of Daddy Dump in any way, they don't like it, especially if you point out the facts. They really don't like that. Wait, what do
Yeah,
you
this fool,
mean? Daddy Dump
this
is
dude
doing
said
something wrong?
he said January 6th should be a national holiday. See,
Yeah, that's goofy.
the illogical logic in the mind. But everybody else, he said cities were burned to the ground. What city? They still
Right.
in there. Like what?
They can
Like
never say which ones, by the way. They
yeah,
literally
they can
never
never
say
say
which
what
ones.
was destroyed. They can just say buildings.
Yeah,
Well, which ones?
yeah. Like because they don't know the difference between a fire burning somewhere in a building in a city. So we have. Hold on a second. So I got to see this name. It looks like that one.
No, but I was throwing you.
Is it? Did I get that right? Is it that one? Dawan?
It's Dates One. How y'all doing,
Daytuan. There you go.
brothers?
Thank you for helping me with that. I'm fantastic, Daytuan. What's on your mind?
Nah, no problem, man. I was really sitting back last night with this whole Qatar air base.
Oh,
Um,
insanity.
that's I'm a retired service member, man, and
Okay.
that one is really got my ears perked up
By the
to
way,
begin.
MAGA's very upset by that.
And
There's a whole faction of MAGA that is crying out against that right now.
I feel that we all should.
Oh, it's pure insanity. I mean, let's remember that earlier in the year, he went to the Middle East. Qatar was one of his stops, and he was photographed shaking the hands of a man that just a few years ago, I think as of like 2019 or something like that, was on the 10 most wanted list
Absolutely,
for being a terrorist and one of the people that
absolutely,
were involved in a lot of different funky shit. And of course, Qatar is infamously a country that was directly involved with 9/11. So now, because they love Dump so much, and their uh, daddy leader can't do wrong, they're twisting themselves in knots to try to accept this nonsense.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm very familiar with it, and it's just interesting. It's interesting of how docile it seems like people are now.
Well, some
Um,
people, some people. So, what branch of the military did you serve in?
Army,
Army. Yeah, my one of my best friends in life and co-host for my night show is a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran who served his country faithfully for 22 years and is sickened by what he's seeing going on right now. And I
absolutely,
imagine that most people that are outside the cult see what's going on, and especially if you sacrifice yourself for this country, and I want to make it clear what the sacrifice is, because for starters, there's only a tiny amount of you, right? It's a small percentage of the population that serves in the military, and no matter what happens, it doesn't matter if you're behind a desk for your whole time there. When you take that oath and strap on that uniform, what you're saying is, I am willing to put myself in harm's way to defend my country and the people in it. And as much as I can't stand conflicts and can't stand WAR, I love and respect warriors because of that willingness to put themselves in harm's way, and being away from their family, making no money, sometimes risking
absolutely,
losing their homes and all this other stuff just to serve their country, because for whatever reason that they decided to do that. Hold on one quick second. Oh, there he is. uh Is that Dylan's? Dylan's, hello? Did you come up by accident? Guess so. All right. So yeah, so for all of you folks that were so courageous and did what you chose to do, because there's no draft right now, although there probably will be soon again, but there's no draft right now,
Right.
and most of you volunteered. Now, my buddy Danny was drafted, but he could have run away to Canada, right? So he didn't. He served
But that
faithfully.
Daddy Dumpy Pants did it. Look
Yeah, Daddy
did a
Dumpy,
switcheroo.
Cankles McTaco Tits had to run away and have his daddy pay a doctor to
Ah,
lie and say he had bone spurs.
right.
Yeah.
But then trying to strip away, the pay and all these different other things. It's really interesting. I've never seen anything like this in history.
Well, actually, it's happened in history many times, and it's come close in American history, but it's
Not
been a
here.
long time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a
Like
long time. In
saying,
the
Germany or somewhere.
40s, there was an attempt by right wing nut jobs to do the same thing that Dump is getting away with now. But it was
Mm,
thwarted back then because America had sense back then. And I'm no fan of America. I'm not a patriot. I'm not a rah rah America guy. I just try to pay attention to facts as best
right.
as I can. And we've gotten to the point where propaganda works so well because the right
Hmm.
wing has built an immense propaganda machine. Starting in 1972, Rupert Murdoch started Fox with the express purpose of making sure that what happened to Richard Nixon never happened to another Republican. And so they engaged in heavy propaganda to the point where they lost a lawsuit, the largest defamation lawsuit in American history, $787 million, because they lied and they were caught. And they were caught blatantly lying. And you see how many sellouts work for Fox because they were willing to prop up a wannabe dictator for ratings, you know,
Sure.
and but it is vast. So many broadcast outlets are owned by the right wing, even CNN,
Oh yeah.
right, which is thought to be left wing, right? But hold on, we have somebody else coming up here.
But yeah,
Oh,
gentlemen, I'm gonna drop back down. I just wanted to get your views on that.
okay.
I appreciate what y'all brothers doing,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely, man. Thanks for coming up. Stop by anytime. So we have Opium Aura. Opium Aura. What an interesting username. How you doing?
What's good, man? Just let you know, the Democrats are liars.
Mm-hmm.
They're the reason the shutdown is causing because they can't
Sure,
get their committee to sign on one
sure.
beautiful big
Yeah,
bill
and because they don't want to take away health care for millions of people, so that's terrible, right?
for illegal immigrants. Yeah, my
Nothing.
fellow.
Oh,
There is nothing in the bill that says that you're just a propaganda parrot, and you sound like a
I'm not a
minority. Are
propaganda
you?
parrot. I'm
No,
a
you are.
very
You are
human.
absolutely a
no, you
propaganda
definitely
parrot
are.
because you
No, I
never
have
you never
kids
read the
myself.
bill. You never read the
Kids have
bill
nothing to do with that.
because
I
the
have read the
bill
bill.
the
Have you
no you
read Project
haven't. If you read
2025?
it, you didn't understand it because
What was
in
the
the
point of you
bill there's
acknowledging me up here
literally
if you're just gonna
nothing.
argue?
There is no provision for illegal aliens in the bill. None. Zero. Not one mention of it.
So why
So
do
you're
y'all
full
want
of
to
shit
protect
and
them?
you're someone who is a self-hating minority who
I'm
votes for
not
his own
self-hating. I'm not a
oppressor. So good for
minority.
you. Bye.
So
Holy
goofy.
shit. I
So
can't
goofy.
stand Oreos,
Why do
man.
you want to
I
protect them?
fucking can't stand Oreos. Like,
Just talking heads, man.
like if you have a different political ideology, that's one thing. But this is not about politics. This transcends politics. If you're a minority that is voting against his own best interest and against his own people, I am not interested. So I never want to see that guy up here again. So
And
he's
and
blocked because
and,
that's
and,
disgusting to me, man.
and they're so goofy. They would rather pay higher insurance. They would rather suffer just for daddy.
So they could simp for daddy. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. This is why Harriet Tubman carried a weapon.
You know what I'm talking about?
Because of people like that, dude.
You know what I'm talking about? It's ridiculous. Then you're supposed to be an adult. Like you have children that you're responsible for, and you think like that.
Like you know, there really is no difference between brown and black people, right?
Nobody
I know
proved them
I know
wrong. What are you
there's,
talking about,
I know
Christopher?
there's
No,
like,
nobody proved nobody wrong.
no, but I'm saying, like, how the predominating wisdom is that we talk about them as two separate groups, right? There's blacks over here, there's brown people over here. But the fact is, like, literally, and it just sounds like a joke, but it isn't. What determines whether you're called black or you're called Latino is where the boat dropped you off. That's basically it, right? And that's historically accurate. Like, what are Brazilians? They're Africans that were dropped off in Brazil.
hmm
What are
hmm
Jamaicans? They're Africans that were dropped off in Jamaica, and et cetera, it goes. Okay. So it makes me sad when minorities in an oppressive country vote for their oppressors.
hmm
That's just insane to me. That's absolutely insane to me.
And
And
put the
I
blame
just
all
don't
on one
respect it.
side and say the Democrats. So this is what let me know you're talking here. The Democrats are responsible. The Democrats are that's everything
Right.
Fox News telling you.
When
The
they have
Democrats are
control over
responsible.
the entirety of the government. And by the way, here's a parliamentary fact that, of course, MAGA Mike doesn't want to confront. They have all the votes to pass the bill if they want to. They can pass it right
Mm,
now. They can just pass it right now if they want to. They were desperate to try to blame the Democrats for something.
something.
And step and fetch it, like that motherfucker that just came up. He believes them, because he's a house N. So he's just, oh yeah, massa, whatever you say
So
must be the
so whatever
Democrats.
happened? Whatever happened to the immigrants that came from South Africa?
Oh, they're doing wonderfully, because
Okay,
they're
so
white, because they're white
hold
tea.
on. So
And by the way,
do we
Dump
do we
completely
have a
lied about
problem with
them.
immigrants? Yeah.
Dump
Do we have
completely lied about everything that was happening to them.
everything?
Everything. None of them were suffering from any kind of oppression or any kind of
No.
danger in any way. We have
So
another person coming
the
up.
problem
Hold that
immigrants.
thought for just one moment.
Okay.
We have Love
My
and
age,
Cuddles. How you doing, Love and Cuddles?
pretty good. My age is
I
26.
didn't ask. So how you doing
Well,
today?
because you
You
can't
doing all
allow
right?
children up here.
I'm
So
sorry.
I'm sorry. So I was just saying that because a lot of people let people up and people lie about their age, and then their life gets taken
All
down
right.
because they
So
have
you're being
children up
preemptive
here.
for no reason. That's wonderful. So what's on your mind?
Well, Dump's favorite line is "Smart people don't like me."
Right.
More people don't like me.
Go ahead. Continue on with that. Oh, he left. Okay, that was weird.
And,
I guess
and you know what? They're so programmed they don't even understand that. They still scream his praise, and he's saying smart
I
people
hold on
don't
one
like
quick
me.
second
They
again.
don't
I'm
like.
sorry. Just I don't know what happened. I don't know if you meant to drop or you dropped accidentally or if it was a glitch, but feel free to come back up. I'm sorry. What were we saying?
No, I'm just saying they like that's what always get me because they're very simplistic. You don't have to talk about anything new, but smart people don't like them, and they don't know that they like him. So he's saying, "You're not smart. You're stupid.
Hey,
Only stupid people love me."
Shauna, if you think I'm rude, you're one swipe away from fucking right off, right? You don't have to be here. So, you know, I don't give a fuck that you think I'm rude. Yeah, Christopher, I really care less about your fucking opinion. All right, is that Kelton?
Oh yeah,
How you doing, Kelton?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you for asking. What's on your mind today?
Uh, what uh, what are you crying about today about Trump?
What am I crying about? Kelton, are you a minority?
I am.
Yeah, of course. Bye, Step and Fetch It. Don't need any more of you. Okay,
Man, that is insane, bro.
yeah, these people just and I told uh like minorities, I'm like, if you vote for this man, you are literally going to vote for your own deportation. You realize that, right? But what it is that there are um there are a lot of, like, especially in Central and South America, a lot of very light skin Latinos, and they thought that they were going to get on okay somehow, but they don't realize that's not how America works. Oh
No, they
boy.
think the shoe
Okay.
shiner will get them by. They think the shoe shiner will
Right.
help them be exempt.
All right. This is an interesting name. El Rocho por Vida. That's a very interesting username. Let's see what El Rocho has to say. How you doing, El Rocho?
What's going on, guys?
Another day in paradise, man. How you feeling?
I'm just chilling.
Cool. Cool. What's on your mind?
Didn't Trump just mediate the ceasefire in Gaza?
What about that? What does that have to do with it, with anything?
Because your prompt says Trump wages
Yeah, yeah.
war.
Is Gaza the only country in the world or the only region in the world?
No, but I'm
So
just
he
saying
might,
he did do
so
that.
he might be waging war with another country, right?
Yeah, but why can't the prompt say Trump start
My live.
ceasefire in
When you do
Gaza?
your live, you make whatever fucking prompt you want. You're boring me to tears, bro.
Well,
What do you have to
the
say?
prompt should
Do
also
you
say
have
there's
to say
200 billion in
the
that
prompt
bill
should
going
say
to
you're
illegals
boring
getting
me to
health care.
shit and you got to go now. Okay. So
Okay, so it's funny because he says that, but America is literally on fire, but you're somewhere else trying to put out the fire. So your house is on fire, but you put that's your neighbor's fire. Say,
and
I
by the
stopped
way,
that fire.
when I looked up this information about waging WAR, I went to Fox News to see if they were honestly reporting on it, and they are. They're reporting about what's going on in Venezuela and what's going on with Qatar, and shockingly, they're reporting on it honestly. And I do that. The only reason I do that as sources when I'm going to do a live is so the MAGA hats can't say that oh, you must be reading CNN. Duh, 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 duh. Oh, let's see. Mark Cheddar, what is it? Mark Chetter says, this Yoda is smart not. Isn't he adorable? He's speaking like Yoda from Star Wars and he's changing the syntax around. Isn't that so clever? That's so clever. I bet in his friend group he's the smart one. We have another guest loading up, loading. Not loaded yet. Let's see. Maybe that's a thing. For some reason, cold one, you're not loading in. So here, let's do this. I'm going to drop you down. Please try again if you'd like to, and I will let you back up again. Sometimes this platform glitches. What are you going to do? It's a huge platform. They're running it 24/7. Sometimes it's going to glitch.
Blame the Democrats.
Cold one is back. I hit accept, but it didn't go. Come on, accept. There we go. Now it's going. Let's see if Cold One loads up this time. There we go. Cold One, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing this morning?
I can barely hear you. If it's possible to get closer to the mic or remove an earphone or whatever it is, please try something.
Yeah, I'll try something different. 1 second.
Okay. It sounds like you're 10 feet away from your phone.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little better. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Sorry about that. My
No worries.
headset wasn't working well.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
So yeah, I'm just it's funny. I'm just trying to figure out if America is great again, or if this is what people's version of putting America first looked like. When
Yeah.
they voted for Trump, it's quite strange. We have the shutdown. We have people who are losing their jobs. Federal workers are going to get laid off. Military's not working; they're not getting paychecks. He said it was supposed to bring back jobs to America. There are factories and things like that shutting down in Michigan. I don't know if you heard, but it's just very interesting.
In his 4 years, when he was squatting in the White House the first time, he lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs.
Mm.
In the first 7 or 8 months of his presidency, this time he's lost 800,000 manufacturing jobs. So where is that? Christopher Dixon, whatever. So, like, I don't. The thing about MAGA hats that amazes me is that nothing they say is true, right? Like they say they're the party of family, right? Party of family values. They voted for a guy that cheated on all three wives and cheated on his mistress with an adult film star. That's value. That's family values in their minds, right? And then they say they're the party that backs the blue, and then they dismiss 140 police officers that were brutalized on J6, one of which lost an eye. He was beaten so badly. And if anybody saw any segments of that footage, there were police screaming for their lives that day, like literally screaming for their lives, right? And so where's the back the blue then? Where's that? Where'd that go? Right? They say they love the Constitution and they support a president who violates the Constitution almost daily. The First Amendment, which he just announced the other day that he wants to get rid of that. That's how much they love the Constitution. They're going to back a guy that wants to get rid of the First Amendment, that has trampled on the Fifth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. Now he's talking about running in 2028, so that's the 22nd Amendment. He's just bebopping and scatting all over the fucking reality of America. Before we continue, let me bring Nick from Oz up. Hello, Nick from Oz. How you doing?
Yeah, good man. I'm just wondering why you're so trashing Donald Trump all the time. Because in Australia,
because I want to. Because I want to.
We would love to have a
okay,
fucking
Crocodile
person
Dundee. Have a great day. So
I think he needs to be trashed. The truth has to be spoken.
I mean, when did MAGA hats who claim to be patriots, claim to want their 2A rights so they can fight a tyrannical government? So when a tyrannical government sprang up, you know what they did? They said, "Oh, this is not tyranny." An American president in public, knowing he's being recorded, said into a microphone that half the country is the enemy within, and they're supporting that. They don't think that's tyranny. Sending people to gulags in other countries, they don't think that's tyranny. No due process, they don't think that's tyranny. Shutting down dissent, they don't think that's tyranny. And that's literally what every dictator in history has done.
And for some reason, during the shutdown, when we had to wear masks, they thought that was tyranny on them, and they decided to storm the state governments.
Right. I mean, it's just, there's no end to the hypocrisy. Let's see. We have Jewel. How you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. I just happened to be, surfing by, and I came upon your podcast or your live.
Same thing.
And I'm hearing and reading as I'm listening, and this is what scares me about this situation. There's a thought process that we're going to actually go back to the 1800s, or where our ancestors were, where you had slaves in the house, where we worked the fields. This is an actual thought process.
By the way, that's what they mean by make America great again.
Yeah, exactly. So with this thought process, and you get the different people that I'm seeing in comments who are really going for Trump, is a very big eye opener to how many people agree with this person's ideologies. He is not by himself in this. And I'm letting all of us know as Americans right now that FAFO is a real deal. You will never, ever, ever get my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren to ever go under that kind of rule again. If you want to actually think that is a legitimate stance, FAFO. Don't
Stop
do it
lying,
to yourselves.
Jewel. You're not old enough to have great-grandchildren. Come on.
Oh, babe, I'm old enough. I have lived 52 years on this earth, and I've seen full circle about what America is really about because I lived here all my life.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that you just can't deny anymore. The racism here is inherited. It goes from
It's
generation to
insane, yeah.
generation. And what's even more sad is that the ones who have seen it done want to do it to others all over again. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. So either we can learn as Americans to get on board with each other, or you have the war that y'all really want. And trust me when I say this with my whole heart, 10 toes down, it's not going to go the way those who still have that racism seed in their hearts, it's not going to go your way. It's not.
Yeah, fair
So
point.
either we come together as a country and fight what's happening, or y'all going to lose. Y'all going to lose because one thing me and my
they're
people
used to
will
losing.
not do,
They used to be
we will
part of the
not take it out.
Confederacy.
We will not take it out.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Excellent.
Thank you for inviting me up. God
Sure.
bless you, but I hope we can get it together. I really
Absolutely.
do.
And just so you know, I go live Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern time. So
Right.
love to see you
well,
back
I'm working,
here.
but I gave you a follow.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Because we need more voices that actually talk about what's real right now. I love TikTok, I do, but the alarm is not as valid as it needs to be because people are sleeping. We're about to they're about to sleep their way right into a straight civil war if they want to. Don't do it.
I hear you.
Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it calls for us needing to gather and leave. And I'm telling you, we have always been very welcoming people as Black folk. We've always been welcoming. So, no, I can't see us totally saying our biracial brothers and sisters, you go with them. No, I don't see that. I don't see us leaving all white people to the side. I don't see that because I still believe there is those white people who have that same John Brown spirit. What was his name? Was it John Brown? Have that same John Brown spirit in their heart that will fight for what's right.
Yeah.
So those are people I'm looking for.
I feel you. Excellent. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right. Take care. We have another guest.
Me too.
And they went away. Okay. So yeah, gentlemen, I muted you both for background noise, but feel free to unmute and rejoin the conversation. Yeah, it really amazes me. What did I just see? It was a really dumb comment. Oh yeah, someone said J6 was done by the FBI. So if that's the case, genius, why did Dump pardon them? They don't know which hypocrisy to hold on to. They don't understand which contradiction works for them. Yeah. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said because they just make it up as they go. Whatever pops in their head, they just say it.
Yeah, it's and again, this is exactly how a 5-year-old argues with you, right? When you start cornering a 5-year-old and hitting them with your adult logic, they start to fall apart and they just start winging it, because again, that's their internal emotional makeup. They don't have the skill to reason and debate, so they just start making shit up. The cat did it, the ghost of whatever did it, whatever it is, it's wild. And folks, we have 135 people in here, and after 45 minutes, only 7,400 likes. That's crazy. But you know what? I didn't do any PSAs for myself, and technically, I didn't even introduce the show. But right over my head, hopefully, you will see an orange heart right next to my name. If you don't worry, we'll get to that. But if you do, click on it. Send an orange heart. That's for this platform. That's the most important thing that you can do when you're at a live show. It's one TikTok coin, no big deal. If you don't see the orange heart, it's called Heart Me, right? Go to the bottom row, click on the gift box, and then look for the Heart Me. Sometimes it's right on top. Sometimes you have to scroll for it. Don't just choose any heart. You specifically, easy for me to say, want Heart Me. And after that, we got a couple other things we'd love you to do. Keep tapping, but also I have a live goal of 200 heart puffs. Normally those disappear in like less than a minute, so I guess I'm not as entertaining today as I usually am, or you're so engrossed in the conversation that, you're distracted, which is sort of a compliment, I guess. I'm going to go with that one. I like how that sounds. But yeah, it is it never ceases to amaze me because I've been involved with psychology for most of my life, 48 years, since my first year of junior high school. And I understand human behavior. I lived psychology I've been in sales since 1984. So I had to use it every day in my job so that I could be an effective communicator. And I've met so many different types of people. I think the only races that I've not met are Inuits and people from Papua New Guinea. That's about it. Every other race I've met, and MAGA hats are in a class by themselves. I mean, in a way, they're typical. In a way, they're
You know what class
just
they
cult members, but
in.
in a way, they are the most extreme cult members that I've ever seen. But the way you can tell that they're in a cult is their information is very controlled. So what their information is highly curated, which is how they can believe that when the Republicans run everything in the government, that somehow the Democrats caused the shutdown because they don't understand anything. But since Daddy Dump said it, and that's all they hear, they assume it's true. And the other way that it's a cult is that Daddy Dump can never be wrong. No matter what he says, no matter what he does, they find a way
What
to
it is.
justify it.
I shared a post on my page, and it was some cult members, and one older white man said he could commit an unaliving on the White House steps, and I would be okay with that.
Well, his actual quote was Fifth Avenue, but yes, he did say that.
But I don't appreciate the correction.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm a New
I would,
Yorker, so when he said that, and what's crazy is that um, I think everybody thought that was just him being bombastic, but it turns out he was right. And I'll tell you how I know this. I believe this is a fact that he was absolutely right about that, and is right about that now. Pardon me. A few weeks back, maybe 5 or 6 weeks, something like that, there was a poll taken specifically of dump voters, right? And they asked a question. I think it might have been the only question on the poll, which was if Dump was convicted of being a PDF file, would you still vote for him?
they said no.
47%.
They said no, right?
47% said yes.
Absolutely, I knew it.
So when you extrapolate that, there were 77 million people that cast their ballot for him. So 47% of that is 36 million. That's over 10% of America's population that have now decided that a politician being a PDF file does not disqualify them from being in the highest office in the world. Those people are lost. They're gone forever. They're not part of Team Humanity. That bullshit about family that they always say, that bullshit about children they always say, that's just nonsense. They don't believe that shit.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. It even back to the beginning when he said he could, grab him by the what, and nobody batted an eye at that. I knew right then it was a wrap. Like
Well,
if that didn't disqualify him, what would?
let me say one thing about that. Honestly, I didn't care about that because dudes talk shit like that all the time, right? When I did care about it was when I realized, and this happened to me in the middle of a podcast. This was like 2.5 years ago. I was doing a live podcast on another platform, and I was talking about what a piece of shit Dump is. And then I got to the E. Jean Carroll stuff, and it hit me live on air. I said, oh my God, when he said grab him by the P, he was talking about her.
Wow.
He was literally talking about her. And so then it wasn't just bullshit anymore. Then it was real, because like dudes say shit like that all the time. Let's be real about that. Motherfuckers are always bragging about, the pootie tang that they got. And it's like, whatever, I honestly like, I even though it's very unpresidential to say that, But in fairness, because I like to be fair, he wasn't running for president at the time that he said that, right? But when it came out that it was real, like, I mean, how many crimes can he be convicted of before these people take it seriously? They're denying that he's a convicted felon. Like literally. I've had people come up here and say, "Oh no, he's not a convicted felon." What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? Like he's a convicted felon, 34 felony convictions. You know, oh, he wasn't sentenced. I was like, right, but you can be a criminal without being sentenced because there's always a gap between when you're found guilty and when you're sentenced, right? So you're the only people you can sentence are convicted criminals, right? So their logic, again, it's that of a 5-year-old. They really can't put anything together.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, and look at the list of things that he's done. I mean, I don't even have time to go over it, and I don't have the ambition to go over the whole list, but things like increasing the drone program 400%. This was his first debacle in office. You know, torpedoing the economy that was rebuilt by Obama. You know, giving tax breaks to billionaires, which was the first domino to start toppling the economy. Ignoring a worldwide pandemic. I mean, the fact that America is 5% roughly, somewhere between 4 and 5% of the world's population, and suffered 20% of the C-19 fatalities is pathetic. And it happened because this guy did nothing for 2 months and 10 days. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. That's not a leader. That's nothing even close to being a leader. You know, he's just a piece of garbage. And of all the things that you can accuse him of and blame him for, that to me is the most egregious, because we're talking about over 1 million people that dropped, man. That's come on, man. That's unforgivable.
Yeah, that's terrible. And no, you're absolutely right. Being a bad leader is probably his worst characteristic, and even going forward, as you say, you know, he's it seems like he's waging war on the American people, or it seems like that's what he wants.
We have to say WAR just like the sign, because you know the platform is childish. No worries, happens to all of us.
But no, it does seem like he's really trying to pit and divide people against one another, and
not trying. He's successfully done it. Look at the comments. Oh, Democrats are demons. Democrats are for violence. Blah blah blah. You know, and I can't think of a president that I've ever read of or seen in my life. And I go back to Nixon, right? I started paying attention to politics in 72 because my stepfather was into politics, right? And so I go back all the way to Nixon, and I've never heard a president talk like this. I don't remember reading about presidents being so divisive outside of the civil conflict era in the 1800s, but this guy is just insanely divisive. You know, calling Democrats the enemy from within, that's nuts.
Yeah,
that's absolutely insane.
I've never heard him once say we need to come together as a country to get over
Never.
this.
Never. I think Kamala put it best. It was either last year or I think while she was campaigning, might even have been during the debate, where she says, you notice that he never talks about you, the American people. I saw snippets of just about every one of his campaign stops on a daily basis, because I watch a podcast that's part of what they did every day, was show here he is in Wisconsin or Tennessee or wherever the fuck he was, and this is what he said. And all he did was complain about how horrible life was for him, how unfair it was, that he was so persecuted. Never once talked about what he was going to do for the American people and how he was going to do it. It was always me, me, me. Oh, woe is me. I'm a billionaire that people don't like because my daddy didn't love me and blah, blah, blah. And just full of grievances, you know. And George Bernard Shaw talked about that in a piece that he wrote. Like, He referred to it as like, I don't want to be a sniveling clod of grievances. That's pretty strong language, but like, you know, that's what Dump is. He's just a coward, a wannabe dictator, and frankly now he is a dictator, and he is doing nothing but harming America and Americans. Like these people that are like, oh, Dump puts America first. When? when? When has he ever put America first? These tariffs are immensely harmful to America. You know, the taxpayers are paying for this. People are seeing I saw one story where someone's ACA benefits, their premium increased from $600 a month, which is already hard to afford, to $4,000 a month, which is probably impossible to afford. You're talking about $48,000 a year just for health insurance. Why? We're the only developed country in the world without universal health care. And the mouth breathers are mad at the Democrats for wanting to preserve that. I mean, where's the logic?
I hope that one day people will wake up. Unfortunately, they won't until it actually hits their front doorstep. But keep speaking truth out, truth to power. Truth needs to get out to people. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
I'll do my best, man.
Drop.
Yeah, pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here, man. Come by anytime.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right. So, Professor X, let's wrap things up. I appreciate your input always. What final thoughts do you have about all this madness that we're looking at right now?
Always, no, man. You say it all, man. I just come on just to support you and back you, man. And because I appreciate good brothers like you in the fight. So I just come on just to, when they come on, I kick up ruckus with you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. People when people express that kind of feedback to me, I really can't put into words how much I appreciate it. Very often, I've been doing this for 5.5 years now, right? I started off on another platform, which I'm still on, but I did a podcast with my buddy, and then it was by myself. And when you're making content, especially when you're trying to address important things, it very often feels like screaming into the void, because you're not in front of people talking to them and getting immediate feedback. You're putting something out there in the public view and then just sort of waiting to see what happens. And so it's always wonderful when someone articulates to me that they like what I'm doing, because look, I'm a human being. I want to be liked like everybody else, right? And so it is wonderful when I hear stuff like that. So thank you so much for saying that.
Absolutely, man. Brothers got to stick together, man.
Yeah, well, some of us don't know that apparently, right? But
Well, respect, salute to you. Have a
yeah,
good day, G.
yeah, man. Take care. There's I'll end with this thought. I've said it before. I'll probably have to repeat it another 1,000 times. This is a quote that is attributed to Harriet Tubman. And she said, "I would have freed more people if they had only known they were slaves." And with that, thank you, everybody, for all of the comments, even the goofy ones. Thank you for your time, your attention. Thank you to the people that came up on the panelists. My panelists are always very, very interesting and well-educated people, except for the MAGA hats, which, we expect that. But really, the most valuable thing that we all have is our time. So I really, really, really appreciate that you spent your time with me. I will never take that for granted, because you could be anywhere, but you decided to be here. So once again, I am here Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday nights and Saturday nights, there's no politics discussion. It's just what we call diner night, which is like we sit around like we were sitting at a diner and talking about whatever except for politics. So feel free to join me on those nights as well. So until we meet again, whoa, what happened to my mouse? There we go. Until we meet again, my technology started failing me. Peace, love, and granola. Talk to you soon.